You're standing in the checkout line and there is a candy bar right at eye level. You don't even want it, but somehow it ends up in your cart anyway. Now scale that up. A new phone you didn't need, a truck payment that eats a quarter of your paycheck, a vacation you put on a credit card because you'd figure it out later. What if I told you the single biggest difference between the people quietly building wealth in this country and the people drowning in debt isn't income, it isn't luck, it isn't even education. It's one skill, and most Americans have completely lost it. My name's David, and I spend way too much time thinking about money and why smart, hard-working people keep making the same financial mistakes. If you want to actually understand how wealth gets built instead of just hoping it happens, hit subscribe, because this one might change how you see every purchase you make from now on. That skill is delayed gratification, and I don't mean some boring self-help buzzword. I mean a specific, measurable ability that separates people who retire comfortably from people who work until they physically can't anymore. Here's what's happening. The average American today can order something and have it on their doorstep in hours. Buy now, pay later is built into every checkout page. Car dealerships will stretch your loan to 8 years just so the monthly number looks small enough to say yes to. Every system around you is engineered to make later disappear, so you only ever think about now. And when now is the only thing your brain is trained to consider, your money doesn't stand a chance. Think about the classic marshmallow experiment. Kids were given one marshmallow, told if they waited 15 minutes without eating it, they'd get 2. The kids who waited weren't smarter, they weren't from richer families. They just practiced, somewhere along the way, tolerating discomfort for a bigger reward later. And here's the wild part. Decades later, those same kids had better financial outcomes, better health, better relationships. One skill rippling through an entire life. Now apply that to money. Somebody making $45,000 a year who waits, who saves before they spend, who says no to the truck payment and yes to the index fund will outbuild somebody making $90,000 who spends everything the moment it hits their account. Twice the income, half the wealth. Because income was never the variable that mattered. Patience was. Here's the math that makes this real. Say you're 25, and instead of financing an $800 a month vehicle for 7 years, you drive something reliable and put that $800 into the market every month instead. At an 8% return, by the time you're 65, that decision alone is worth over $2.7 million. Not from a raise, not from a side hustle, just from waiting. But here's where most people mess it up. They think delayed gratification means never enjoying anything. It doesn't. It means being intentional about which now you're chasing. The people who build real wealth aren't miserable monks skipping every coffee. They just stop trading their future for things that don't actually make them happier in 6 months anyway. Because that's the truth nobody tells you. Most impulse purchases don't even deliver lasting satisfaction. The dopamine hit from a new gadget fades in days. The compound growth from not buying it keeps paying you for decades. This is why so many Americans making great money still feel broke. They've never practiced the wait. Every dollar that comes in has somewhere to go immediately because their brain was never trained to tolerate the gap between want and have. So here's the practical shift. Next time you're about to buy something over $100 that you don't need immediately, wait 48 hours. Not forever, just 48 hours. That tiny pause is you rebuilding a muscle this entire culture has spent years trying to atrophy in you. Delayed gratification isn't about sacrifice. It's about remembering that future you is a real person, and they're counting on you the decision you make right now. If this helped you see money a little differently, subscribe, because we're just getting started.